Okay, City of Carrabelle Mayor. Brenda, come on down.
Happy New Year, Senator Mumford, Representative Beshears. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you this evening. I'm Brenda LaPaz, Mayor of Carrabelle. I'm here with Carrabelle City Commissioner Cal Allen and his wife, Miss Tamara Allen. You've met her already. Mr. David Butler, he's our Economic Development Council chairperson and the new president of the Camp Gordon Johnston World War II Museum. And then Mr. Russell Large is here with the Inovia Consulting Group. He'll be speaking to you shortly about a budget request that we have. But I just want to report to you that the City of Carrabelle continues to move forward, working towards a positive future and economic diversification. In 2016, Carrabelle and the Community Redevelopment Agency completed 22 projects. We resurfaced 7 roadways, some of which had not been resurfaced in over 30 years. We completed major boat ramp improvements and removed several old blighted buildings. A boat ramp parking lot for 35 trucks with boat trailers is currently in the design phase at the southern end of Marine Street, along with 7 other major projects approved and funded set to begin early this year. All this while the city has balanced its 2016-17 budget and continuing the day-to-day operations of the city, water and sewer department, a police department, and an airport. With the assistance of the Franklin County TDC, we started promoting the Carrabelle Airport and began to understand that our airport has an important role in the economic development of the entire east side of Franklin County and the southwest part of Wakulla County. With its tourist destination and a 4,000-foot runway that has room for expansion, our airport is in demand and has had an increase in traffic. But the facilities and infrastructure at our airport remain deficient and inadequate. As we learned more about similar airports in our district and state, we realized the Carrabelle Airport does not receive FAA National Plan of Integrated Airport Systems funding like 7 similar airports used in a comparison chart. These 7 similar rural airports receive an annual non-primary entitlement of $150,000 from the FAA. The annual non-primary entitlement for the Carrabelle Airport is 0. The City of Carrabelle is beginning the process of requesting inclusion into the FAA's NPIAS program, and the Carrabelle Airport meets FAA criteria to request entry and is part of the Florida Aviation System Plan. But we must have support of the FDOT Aviation and Spaceports managers who have agreed to assist our request for entry. And in fact, they're coming next week to visit our airport. The City of Carrabelle and the Carrabelle Aviation Advisory Board are merely bringing this issue to your attention so you'll be aware of the needs of the airport and will recognize the positive economic impact that can be brought to Carrabelle and the surrounding community by upgrading our airport to the standards of the other publicly owned general aviation airports of similar size. The continued growth, opportunity, and success provided to other similar rural airports in the state of Florida through FAA funding should be equally available to the Carrabelle Airport. Your packets include a presentation from Mr. Tim Sullivan, our chair of the Carrabelle Aviation Advisory Board, and that gives you complete details and comparisons on this topic. And so, continuing on with the airport, the Franklin County Tourist Development Council has partnered with Carrabelle and the Aviation Advisory Board to plan a fly-in event that will introduce our airport to the community and the general aviation flying public. And I would like to invite you both, and Miss Marcia and Miss Vicki, to the Carrabelle Airport Fly-in on March 11, 2017. And that is coordinated with the Camp Gordon Johnston Days Parade to attract hundreds of visitors. And I hope you'll be able to attend. We're trying to put Carrabelle on the map as a new avenue for tourism. Personal invitation is included in your packets. Another important project involves the expansion of Carrabelle's water and sewer services. The City of Carrabelle will be submitting a 2017 Senate budget request request for funding of extension of central water in the Lighthouse Estates subdivision. The Northwest Florida Water Management District has indicated their full support in funding central sewer in the Lighthouse Estates subdivision. Legislative assistance for funding of central water extension will complement the initiatives of the Water Management District and provide the residents of Lighthouse Estates with clean and safe drinking water. Mr. Russell Large, engineer with Inovia Consulting Group, is here to provide further details of the proposed project.
Thank you. Generally, this project consists of the removal of 53 existing septic tank systems and connecting these existing residents to central water and sewer. This area consists of about 150 acres. And these existing systems are all in close proximity to the bay. The Water Management District estimates a significant reduction in nutrient loading and total nitrogen loading to the bay. So there's a direct environmental benefit related to St. George Sound and the oyster resources there. So that's why the Water Management District is so supportive of this project. They've actually set aside money specifically for this purpose, and they will be hearing that funding request in February.
Let me follow you.
Okay.
They've already set money aside, and then you're gonna do the request?
I'm sorry. Their funding is for the sewer portion of this project. What we would be bringing to the legislative board is funding for the water portion of this project. The water portion is not able to be funded through the Water Management District, but it's a critical piece. In fact, it's a required piece.
You already have the money earmarked
No.
and granted from the water district?
No. They're going to hear that request in February. But the program, the grant program, is set aside specifically for the purposes of improving the bay. Did I answer your question?
Thank you.
So there are also secondary benefits as well with this project. It would eliminate the concerns for water well contamination and also would provide fire protection for those residents. So we see this as a win-win project. It's a win for the sensitive water body of the St. George Sound and the oyster habitats. It's a win for the city, and it's a win for the local residents. So we ask for your best consideration.
Mayor?
Okay, and in closing, you all may remember that I've reported to you the past 2 years that Carrabelle is picking itself up by the bootstraps, and I'm here to say to you once again that we continue to be on the move. And I want you to know, like I've said before, I want you to know who we are, and I want you to remember us. And I thank you for being here to receive our public comments and your continued support of Franklin County and the cities of Carrabelle and Apalachicola. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Okay, I believe that does anyone else like to speak to this legislative delegation meeting? All right, oh, come on now. I think we've seen you before tonight.
Sorry about that, Mr. Chairman.
No, you're okay. We know you're gonna say good things.
I got here late, so thought maybe I'd shut up until the end and see if there was time. I guess, point of clarification for Madam Mayor from Carrabelle is the district has set aside money to go to the board for them to vote on. So to give you an idea of what that means, thanks to Mayor Johnson, the good work of folks in City of Apalachicola, they brought their projects and those water quality projects under budget, which allows us to take some of that money that we had for that and move it to other good projects, because you appropriated $3 million some years ago for Clean Apalachicola Bay, so that's where that money comes from. So thank you to you, thank you to both of them for bringing us good projects. Thank you to Betty Webb, who was instrumental in starting that off, 4 years ago when I started at the district.
Sounds like they've been good stewards of the money.
Yes, sir. And again, I apologize. I'm going to do it, until I'm blue in the face. But none of that's possible without you two sitting up there $3 million does not appear out of thin air. It certainly doesn't come from the Water Management District. We have about $3 million in ad valorem taxes that we take in. The budget this coming year is $62 million. There's some math there that's kind of hard to explain, without robbing a bunch of banks or winning the lottery. And that answer is you and the governor. And without the work that you do and the care that you take in thinking about folks here in Apalachicola and Carrabelle and our upstream neighbors in Jackson County as well, none of these things are possible. So thank you on behalf of the board. Thank you on myself personally, for paying such close attention to what's going on here.
Thank you, Brett. We appreciate the work you do as well.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
All the team effort. Okay, that's going to close out this legislative delegation meeting, and now don't go anywhere because we're going to have a local bill hearing on the Carrabelle Port and Airport Authority. Madam Mayor.
Thank you for allowing me to speak again. Early last year, management changes were put into place at the Carrabelle Airport with an appointed all-volunteer Aviation Advisory Board who now oversees safety, maintenance, general operations, and assists with long-term planning of the airport. During notification of this management change to the aviation side of the FDOT, they became aware of the existence of the Carrabelle Port and Airport Authority created by House Bill number 1349 on July 14, 1986. The confusion of who actually managed the airport, was it either the city or of Carrabelle or the authority, caused a near denial of the annual airport licensing approval by the FDOT because the FDOT's interpretation was that a license could not be issued to the city since the Port and Airport Authority was listed as the operator. And I know that I wrote both of you about this. It took some quick action on your part and Ms. Marcia and Ms. Vicki to get the issue resolved. I think we had a 2-week window there before the license was due for renewal. They just let us know in a very short time, and you all helped us greatly, and we appreciate that in the City of Carrabelle. We were allowed to move forward. Now the City Commission understands that the Carrabelle Port and Airport Authority has 2 choices. It must be brought into compliance or dissolved. The Commission has decided by unanimous vote that dissolution is the best approach for several reasons, including the Carrabelle Port and Airport Authority has been inactive for 16 years. There have been no nominating committees by the governing body and no gubernatorial appointments in over 16 years. The Governor's Appointment Office indicates the Carrabelle Port and Airport Authority as inactive, and it is not listed on the boards of interest. It's not listed on the boards of interest for gubernatorial appointments. The Port and Airport Authority has not conducted meetings in over 16 years. No taxes or fees are collected with which to manage and fund the special district. The special district requires a director and a secretary. We have no one of that sort. Bringing the authority into compliance would be a huge and costly tax for our for our small town. The Carrabelle City Commission understands that we can't dissolve it on our own, but we must request the introduction of legislation in the form of a draft House bill, which I have provided in your packets. Representative Beshears, I understand, has agreed to sponsor the House bill. We truly appreciate your support in this, Representative Beshears and Senator Mumford's support in our efforts to resolve this issue. And I thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This is just to explain the process. This will be a local bill that will be initiated in the House under Representative Beshears. Presuming that will pass, then it will come over to the Senate, and we'll assume that it'll pass as well, and then that matter will be closed, and the result will be what you do, what you want, and then it'll open up those other avenues that you mentioned. With that being said, is there any public comments on this local bill here? Seeing no public comment, then this local bill here is hereby closed, and we thank you for coming tonight. Again, but before you leave, we'll